Hey, you unbelievably gorgeous people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your good friend Kevin, and this is your Divine Daily Blast. Let's get to it. Now, don't worry, I am going to do a version of the week ahead. I'm just not going to go into all of the moon movements, etc., because I do that on the Divine Daily Blast, and that I think is quite enough. What I will do is pull a tarot card for each day of the week that comes up, the week in tarot, something like that. Anyway, let's get on to today. Angel numerology number 6, I call that revitalization. It is about harmony and balance, love, responsibility, being a little domestic. It's a call to focus and nurture your loved ones with selfless service, empathy. When you see this number, it can be a message to find the balance, to find the harmony between your practical life and your spiritual life. So, thinking about where we are in our sort of like time frame, the calendar, the holidays pretty much are done. It's a bit like sweeping the dust of 2025 into the dustpan and discarding it, letting it go. And there still takes a little while to wind all of that up. That's typically why it's quite lovely to have a holiday fall in the middle of the work week, because we've sort of got that few days of the weekend before, the few days of the weekend afterwards, and this has been quite a lovely, long, extended type of holiday. Now, if you're a workhorse and you're somebody who just has a really packed structure of go, 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 do, emails, this and that, and cheek, woof, that can be kind of tough. But for most of us, the majority of us who have enjoyed the lull and the luxury of this wonderful, soft holiday time, it's quite glorious. I'm moving on. What can I say about number 6? Revise your plans. Look at things a little bit differently. Pull on the seven of swords if you've got that. Look at the ego and the devil as well, because we have the heels of the full moon, which was in Cancer, and there's a lot of emotional stuff, emotional baggage floating around with this Cancerian moon. Still some things to need to be released. What are you holding on to? It takes a look, a deeper dive. Full moons shine light in the shadows of what needs to be seen. And then once we start to work towards the end of it, the end of the moon cycle, we get to release those things as we see them coming up. We do it every month. Look at the moon phases every single month. Okay. Can't think of anything else I got to say about the numbers. I'm going to go in this direction. Louise Hay, you can do it. Sunday, January the 4th. Her message is, my pets help me experience unconditional love. I provide a safe environment for them and give them the love they deserve. Now, you may not have domesticated pets of your own. You might not have dogs and cats, although I have a funny feeling that most of you who watch this channel do have a pet of some sort that's a constant companion. I know I do. This morning I was outside and there were 4 kittens, in a way. I think kittens. They're probably about 3 to 4 months old, and they are growing quite big. 2 older cats about a year old, so that's 6, and then 1 big boy who I've seen, like, he's so handsome. He's out there. So 6 or 7 of them, and for a while I could get caught up in the gracious me, I'm going through basically 40 cans of that Friskies cat food, the wet food, and then a bag of the dry kibble to keep down there during the day. And I'm thinking, wow, but I have this funny tick. If not me, then who? So it's also my way of saying thank you, universe, for providing me what I need to help take care of these wild ones. There you are, done. And they do. They're quite lovely. I love the way that they sort of like get to trust. Let's face it, in their world, I am this huge, big, scary monster. They don't know what I'm going to do. And here I go, putting their food down, saying, "Have at it." I'm not necessarily much of a cat person, but maybe I am. I just think I've got that air about me that animals seem to think, "Oh, he's okay. We'll be all right." Moving on. Love and light is my vibration. Peace is my portion. Fun little saying. If you're about love and light, if you come from love and light on the inside, then peace will definitely be what you are about. I've never known anyone who is devoted to a spiritual path be anything other than peaceful, anything other than harmonious, anything other than just genteel. They tend to be the ones who are on the edges of the world, bringing peace to everybody and anyone. Yeah, let's face it, drama takes effort. Peace is quite easy. All right, I am choosing to trust the process of life and welcome new opportunities with open arms. This comes from our friend of the channel, Joanna Pantases, who penned this a while ago. She was writing a workbook and I snatched it because it's such a good quote. It really is a good quote. We have to trust the process. Well, we don't have to, but if we don't trust the process of life as it comes at us, then it's going to keep on being a struggle. Like, for example, yesterday I had turned on my hallway light upstairs. At the top of my stairs, I have a light. Most people do. It lights the landing and the stairwell. And of course, there's a light at the top of the stairs to turn off or on, depending on which direction you're going in. And another one at the bottom of the stairs to do the opposite. So I noticed the last few days, this light was flickering, like flicker, 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 like what is going on? Like the bulbs were burning out. But I knew all three bulbs can't be doing that at the same time. So there's something with the wiring in the wall. Now, my old way of being would have gone into, oh my gosh, now I've got to do this, and there was a little bit of me that panicked. Like, I'm going to have to find an electrician. That's going to cost me a fortune. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I got to the point where things happen and it's okay. And it doesn't have to be fixed today. Done. I pulled all the fixtures out from the track. I sent messages, who knows an electrician that's affordable, reasonable, and said, universe, take care of it. I am going to be okay. And in the meantime, I can use a torch or something to see my way down this. People deal with. Our friend of the channel, Miss Vicky, who has the Healing Artist thing channel. You'll see some of her comments. Amazing artist, by the way. You should check out some of her short stuff. She went through, and it's been nearly 2 years, the most horrendous storm in Texas. This phenomenal tree came down, part of it hit her house. The other part got braced by another tree that ended up saving their lives. However, with the back and forth of bureaucracy, she's literally had to live like a camper in her own home, which is quite phenomenal. It does, these things that come to get us, these things that come to snap at our heels, are just reminders that we're in the flow of life, we're in the adventure of things happening. It is how we react and respond to those things that makes a difference. Come from a place of peace, come from a place of harmony, look at the big picture, look at things in a different way, see if you can see the bright side of life, but let go of the struggle, let go of the strife, and trust it'll be okay. Everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. You're not a failure because something broke. You're not a bad person because you don't necessarily have the money today to pay the bill. That's not where we're at. What we're at is keep going, keep moving. It comes from the inside. That strength, that harmony, that resolve comes from your heart space. It comes from the God that lives within you and the part of you that's capable of manifesting absolutely everything. Right. Here's a message from Archangel. Oh, no, here we go. Another one. I am a noble person doing world-class work and fulfilling a mighty purpose through the eyes of love. When we look through the eyes of love, we're looking through the eyes of the divine. The eyes of the divine see things in a completely different way. And why not? We're all noble people. We're all doing world-class work. Unless we are being a bit ratchet. Unless we are just not talking our truth. Moving on. We have a message from Archangel Haniel. Incidentally, there's a big full moon out there. We still feel the effects of yesterday's full moon. As the grace of God, I can help you connect with your ability to manifest magic through the divine feminine. I am connected to the power of the divine feminine. Harmony and magic fill my life. Keep doing that, being connected with the divine feminine, knowing that magic, harmony, fill up your life. Where is it today, this minute, this present moment, that there is magic and harmony in everything that you do? Where is that? And if you don't really know, if you can't put your hand on it, write something down. What will bring you harmony? What will bring you magic? What will bring you what you need? And go for it. Now, this is really quite interesting. You know, I shuffled this wonderful deck of cards. Where is it? The Angelic Activation card by Kyle Gray. I gave it a really, really good shuffle. Turned it back and forth, looked at every card. And guess what? Our friends, the star beings, popped up again. Now, this has happened a few times where the same card comes in a second week for a second tour. Ordinarily, in my early days of reading and understanding cards and divination, I would have put that back in the deck and chose another card saying, well, this is a repeat. No. While the card is the same, the energy has shifted and we've moved to a different time space reality. So the star beings are basically saying here, there's great mystery unfolding at this time, and all the synchronicities and signs you are experiencing are absolutely not a coincidence. Now, we could say the mundane madness of life, you know, the switch on the wall going bonkers, you know, something going wrong in the car, whatever that is. These are little tests, not tests to upset you, although if they do, then you have got to redo the test or redo the process of it. Everything we're experiencing, if it's not a coincidence, they're spirit-led experiences that let you know that you're on the right path. Now, that's easy to say. How can you say, well, I'm on the right path, but this broke? I'm on the right path, but there's a tree through my roof. I'm on the right path, but it's pouring down rain, freezing cold, and I have broken down on the side of a highway. How is that possible? It's just the faith of knowing this happened, and things will get better, and things move forward, and stuff changes, and you just ask for the magic and the miracles, connect with the divine feminine, the cosmos. All right, get me out of here because I don't like it. Where you are is where you need to be. Stay committed to your vision because the star beings are guiding your dreams into reality. We can't go from point A to point B or point Z. There you go. Can't go from A to Z without going through the rest of the alphabet. So it is a process. Thank you, star beings, for guiding my vision into reality. Keep your vision strong. Keep your vision noble. The other thing I want to let you know is, you know, most people when they think about manifesting and manifesting their dreams and setting their goals, they are verbally doing the affirmations, seeing visually, but the feeling, the heart is still a practice of lack, still a practice of not being good enough, still a practice of staying on the back foot. And it shows up in our life by judgment, unforgiveness, resentments, grudges. And all of those things are taking up free rent in your head. They've been living there for a while, not paying any bills, not doing any shifting, but each time there's an incremental bit of growth that happens when you choose to be present to the fact that, not today, please, I'm moving on. Get out of my mind, get out of my head, turn the corner, and get to greatness. Turn the corner to get to greatness. My friend, well, it's not a friend of mine that I know personally, but somebody I follow, Cheddar Gorgeous, a fabulous man who was a social worker for a while, opened up a drag lab in England, went all over the country, teaching self-esteem, teaching self-confidence, and doing it in drag. He basically said, reach for the stars if you want to get over the hill. You have to reach high. You may not get as high as you're reaching, but you are sending a message that I'm not staying stuck where I am. I'm moving forward. Now, this is a lovely one. It's our Divine Master all week long. Her name is Mayat. She's on about divine intervention, weighing up your options and choosing a higher, choosing the highest good for you. It's pronounced Mayet, if you want to know, and folklore says she's an ancient Egyptian, like a deity, a god, a goddess, associated with truth and harmony and balance. So you could say, well, there's some would say she's part of a goddess and part of an ethereal being. She first appeared in the Old Kingdom. She's one of the ancient forms of the goddess of justice. So when she comes, well, in this image here, she's depicted with wings, which are often associated with being angelic, being heavenly, being of the divine. So Maya has this golden light energy, very similar to Archangel Uriel. And she can be called upon to support you in making really, really, really important decisions. Balancing the various aspects of your life, she'll help you make decisions which align with our values. What do you value? What are your values? Is it truth? Is it honesty? Is it love? Is it integrity? What is your value? Where do you value things? So before jumping in with both feet, take a little bit, a moment of breath. They say breathe in 3. I like to breathe in, breathe into the mind, breathe into the body, breathe into the spirit. And when I take first breath, goes down to the feet. Second breath goes into the seat. Third breath goes into the heart. And then you whoosh, you lift up to the divine. The message of the universe is to wait. So take some time to reflect. Don't make any rash decisions, particularly if you've got some emotional charge going on. When emotions are high, they drive us to make choices that are aligned to the ego, aligned to things that we're not supposed to be connected with. Remember the 6 being vitality? Sometimes the 6 can work in the other direction. So we've got to stay balanced. We've got to stay in harmony. That's why we get these reminders. The scales can tip in any direction. And the change, Maya is here to help you weigh up your options before you're moving forward. Before you go and jump in both feet. What they say that act in haste, repent at leisure, that kind of thing. You don't need to prove a point to anybody. You just need to focus on what it is in your heart, where your value is, where your balance is, where your justice is. And when we force energy to go in any particular direction, we are interfering with all the other shifting that's happening. So, when you get quiet, you do your meditation or you do your prayer, ask yourself what would be the best possible outcome for everybody concerned. I've said many, many times, this or something better now manifests for me for the highest good of everybody involved. So be it, so shall it be. That is what I'm doing, whether I'm asking for opulence, whether I'm asking for riches, whether I'm asking for abundance. Bring me the abundance so I can take care of my animals. Bring me the abundance so I can pay for the electrician and support that electrician's lifestyle. Bring me abundance so I can keep opening the doors of my little shop. Bring me abundance so I can buy craft work and make rugs and blankets that I can donate to people. Those kind of things. You'll attract harmony, peace, abundance, love, all of that stuff when you go for the highest good of all. That is why we are in this wishy-washy cycle of global uprising. What's really interesting that, most governments, I don't like getting political because I think it's really, it sort of goes along, in my mind, in my head, in my heart, politics never really solve anything. It just doesn't. It's just a sort of a really awkward, out of balance way of being. Those who make decisions seem like they've got not a care in the world. And then everybody that's having to follow those decisions that they make and fall in line are usually the ones that have the hardest job of doing it, which is why there's a lot of resistance going on. But then I think about the fact that there's a lot more people on the planet than there are leaders in the world. A lot more. These leaders become shepherds. What does that make us? Sheep? I'm not sure about that. Are you a shepherd of your own world, or are you a sheep that's following your neighbor? Sound familiar? Let me get a new car because the girl 2 doors down got one. Let me buy a fancy house because I want to keep up with my cousin Hilda, who just bought a mansion. I mean, these are just the crazy things we do. I had an obsession with this French cookware. I won't say the name. You know what I'm talking about. And after I spent what was way too much money on this stuff, I'm thinking, why in the world did I do it? Did it make me feel good? Yes, temporarily it did. But I think I was in love with all the colours in the shop. I looked through the shop window and thought, that looks like Rainbow Land. And in I went. And oh yes, they give you all the business about how it heats up, even heating. And I have to say, it is really good cookware. But I'm not a gourmet chef. So there you go. There's where the values land. And I can see my fairies and my guides laughing their head off, saying, well, you're not really cooking too much, but you've got this fabulous cookware. That's just me. All right, enough. Fairies, fairies everywhere. Gather, gather if you dare. Bring us a blessing and send us on our way. I-O-E-O, ha-he-yay. There you go. Whoosh. This one feels good. Beauty. Oh. Oh, look at this. Missy. She looks a bit like Mayette, doesn't she? Looking into the mirror. Now, I get the message. Your spirit guides, your angels, Archangel Haniel, Jophiel, Ariel, the golden light of Uriel, are asking you to see yourself. See yourself in all your glory. See yourself in all your magnificence. See yourself the way the divine sees you. Beautiful, accomplished, powerful. You have the ability to do anything. Most definitely. All right, my friends, that's it from me before it becomes a big, epic film. I'm going to come back in a little bit and I'm going to do the week ahead with some tarot cards and talk about January, talk about the difference between making predictions, which I don't know that we need to be doing, and making promises. There you go. I'll be back with that. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye for now. There we go. There we go.